Well, today's episode is going to be a little bit different because I'm not going to be talking about one story. I'm going to actually be talking about a few stories, and it's more of an update episode with some things that are happening in South Africa. So let's get into it.
When people zone
have our smallanyana skeletons.
Did I hear that correctly? Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Newsflash. I'm your host, Emilio. Thanks for tuning in. Business send urgent message to Ramaphosa. Now, this is in relation to the GNU because everybody is speculating that the DA might actually leave the GNU, and Ronaldo House broke the news that apparently some of his sources within the DA have told him that the DA plans on leaving the GNU, but apparently there's some kind of stalemate happening because they're waiting to see if Ramaphosa is going to fire some of the ministers, because it's rumored now, or it's been announced, that Ramaphosa is going to do a reshuffling of the ministers, in which case, if the DA ministers lose their positions, the DA will leave. But at the same time, it sounds like the ANC is also waiting to see if the DA does leave. So I don't know. At the time of recording, nothing's happened thus far, but businesses are now coming and sending a message to Cyril Ramaphosa, urging the DA and Ramaphosa to put aside their differences and try and make things work out, because businesses are fearful that if the GNU collapses, or aka the DA leaves, that MK or EFF would step in. And once again, I've mentioned this before, that's a real possibility. But again, most of the acts that the DA claimed they were going to fight against, like the NHI, Bella Acts, Expropriation Acts, so on and so forth, have already been signed into law. So I think the only thing MK or EFF would actually do if they were in power is just maybe a little bit more radical. And yeah, a lot more things would probably get through. I don't know. I'm struggling to believe that it would be a much worse situation. I mean, South Africa is already in a bad situation considering the relationship between USA and South Africa right now. Could it get worse? Always. But personally, I think the DA needs to leave because I think them being part of the GNU is hurting them more than anything else. And in other news, ladies and gentlemen, the US Embassy has condemned Kill the Boer chant despite Constitutional Court ruling. Let's be clear. Kill the Boer is a chant that incites violence against ethnic minorities. The EFF is propagating racial hate with this chant. It must stop. We will continue to call out injustices wherever we see it and express our unwavering commitment to human rights, the embassy added.
Well, some good news.
So it's great to see the US Embassy responding to the Constitutional Court ruling and actually saying what everybody is thinking, how ludicrous the Constitutional Court was to say that Kill the Boer is not hate speech. But it is very interesting, which some analysts are pointing out, the timing of that judgment, considering the current climate and again the tensions between US and South Africa. It's very interesting that that judgment went out at the time that it did. It was clearly a political ploy, and it puts a lot of question on the Constitutional Court being captured. And in other news, Minister of International Relations Ronald Lamola says South Africa will continue to defend its foreign policy when necessary. This follows reports that US Congressman Ronnie Jackson introduced a bill to review the relationship between US and South Africa. Let's have a look at what he said.
And continue to clarify the misconceptions that it is also based on, because as you are aware, South Africa is a non-aligned country.
A bullshit?
Really, a non-aligned country, really. Aren't you guys the one that took Israel to the International Court of Justice or whatever? Non-aligned? You cozy up to Russia, you cozy up to China? Really?
As an emerging and a developing country, we have continuously maintained our non-alignment stance.
This is just too much. Either he is just really unaware of what is going on, or he's lying, and I think it's the latter. This guy is lying, and look at him. He's lying to you with a straight nose.
He can lie to you with a straight nose.
To want to put us in a particular category does not represent the views of the South African government. So
No, it does. It does, absolutely. And ANC has shown time and time again what their views are. I mean, even in your own documents, you talk about national democratic revolution and transformation, all code words for communism. So don't try and fool anyone. And luckily, the US isn't buying your BS. But the fact that the ANC government is literally doubling down, it looks like the sanctions are going to come in hot and heavy.
And it doesn't take a blind man to see that
Once again, the ANC putting the ANC party first and not the people. And in other news, ladies and gentlemen, Newsroom Africa apologizes for lying about Afriforum.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this.
Mainstream Media X apologizes to Afriforum for erroneously stating that is a phrase you may be hearing regularly in the coming months. Various media outlets reported Afriforum without consulting original sources. Let's have a look at what they said.
In a recent interview with political analyst Professor Amanda Khosa, inaccurately stated that Afriforum has taken matters of the apartheid flag to court to ensure that it is not declared a crime against humanity, and they've gone to the United Nations to declare a white genocide. I do apologize to Afriforum for this inaccuracy, and as a point of correction, their opposition to the Nelson Mandela Foundation's application was to ensure that the apartheid flag is not declared a hate speech. Further, their submissions to the UN were intended to bring awareness to what it calls racial discrimination and hate speech against minorities, including the song Kill the Boer.
Yet once again, mainstream media lying to you. And you might be wondering, like, why did I bring this up? Because the narrative that Afriforum is spreading white genocide theories or whatever, conspiracy theories or whatever, is just a blatant lie. And yet other mainstream media houses keep on pandering, keep on trying to shove that down your throat that this is exactly what Afriforum is doing. And a lot of people fall for it. And then the narrative is just accepted. But it is a false narrative. It is not true. Afriforum has never said that. And I want to show to people, those that might believe mainstream media, that even mainstream media, well, most of the time, get things wrong.
As usual.
So let me know your thoughts. Did you enjoy this kind of episode, an episode that kind of glazes over some of the main stories that are happening right now in South Africa and maybe even the world? I'm not going to make episodes like this all the time. They're going to be rare once in a while when there's a lot of stories to look at and to get updates on. But let me know your thoughts. I mean, did you enjoy it? Let me know in the comment section. While you're there, leave a like on this video, share it far and wide, and subscribe to the channel. I've got more content coming your way, and don't forget to become a member. It goes a long way to supporting the channel and helping me to produce content for you guys. And if you can't become a member, that's okay. Please consider giving a super thanks, or a Sasa thanks as we call them on this channel. I just want to take a moment to thank the most recent super thanks and Sasa thanks from Dievold Murray and Boss Crazy. Thank you guys so much for your contribution and super thanks or Sasa thanks. All right, and with all that being said, your Newsflash is in.